Hello, this is Jerry Morton. Welcome to my podcast series titled Finding My Way, a memoir by Jerry Morton. This is podcast 78, The Other Side. Podcast 78, The Other Side, is a story about assisting an elderly woman at a large store. She is very gracious, sweet, and kind as she accepts my assistance. Unintentionally, she presents me with one of life's important lessons. Podcast 78, The Other Side. I had my monthly list of things to buy at Sam's Club that September in 2005. There was nothing unusual about it. A case of paper towels, a case of water bottles, a large bag of walnuts, and on it went. They were the things that we routinely used on a daily basis at home. Buying in bulk enabled us to stretch the monthly budget on the fun things we like to do. The pattern was set. First, I got the case of paper towels. Then I moved the large shopping cart on to the nearest item, the bottled water. As I approached the stacked cases of water, I couldn't help but notice a frail, elderly lady reaching up, trying to pull a case off of the top of the tall stack. Usually, there were one or two columns of the cases that had been shortened to waist level or lower. This was not the situation that day. As I pushed my cart closer to the cases of water, the thin, small-stature woman went on her tiptoes and began struggling to move the top case towards the edge of the stack. Quickly, I deduced that once it reached the tipping point, it would come crashing down on top of her. "May I help you, ma'am?" Startled, the frail woman placed her heels back on the floor and turned to me with a big smile. "Yes, thank you. You are most kind to offer." "I'm glad to help, ma'am." As she stepped aside, I reached up and pulled the case down and set it in her cart. "That was so helpful. You are such a nice man," she exclaimed with a gentle smile. "Ah, I need the exercise," I said with a grin. "Forgive me for asking, but could you get another case down for me?" "Sure," I said, reaching for the second case and put it on top of the one already in her cart. "You are so kind. I bet you were in the military. Military people are so considerate of others." Chuckling to myself, I replied, "Actually, I was." "My husband was in the Army," she stated with great pride. "So was I," came my quick and chuckling reply. "He was in the 82nd Airborne for 6 years," she stated while straightening her backbone ever so slightly. "An injury forced him out. He was so disappointed." "That means he was at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I was there at the Special Warfare Center for 2 years during the Vietnam stuff." "I knew it. I just knew it. Us military people just can't help being nice to people." Smiling, I replied, "There were some really good men back then. Is there anything else I can get for you?" Sheepishly, she looked at the cart and then at the cases of water. "Yes, I need 2 more cases of water." As I was getting them down and rearranging the other cases in her cart so that all the cases of water would fit in it without toppling over, she continued talking. We are working to fill an 18-wheeler's trailer full of donated items to send down to New Orleans, to the hurricane victims." Huffing a little, I said, "What a kind thing to do. I'm sure they need it and will appreciate your kindness. Is there anything else I can help you with?" No, thank you. You have done enough. Are you sure? That cart's going to be heavy to push. I'm stronger than I look. She stated with a bit of pride and a great big grin. Okay, but if you need help, I can do it. I'll be going up and down these aisles for a little while. Thanks, but I'll manage. With that, we parted. A few minutes later, as I was pushing my cart around the corner of an aisle, she almost ran her cart into mine. We laughed and went our separate ways. When it happened a second time, laughingly I commented, "We just keep re-meeting. I think it's a sign that I'm still here to help you if you need it." How nice of you. I'm fine, but I know who to ask if I need help. Once again, we parted ways with a friendly wave. With a full cart and my shopping list completed, I began pushing the cart to the long lines behind the many active cash registers. I was about 3 full carts back from my lane's cash register when I looked over to the line of carts to my left. There was the sweet old lady. She saw me at the same time I saw her. We laughed at the coincidence and waved to each other. "You sure did fill that cart," I declared. It was piled about as high as it could have been without all of the contents above the rim of her cart falling to the floor. I was amazed at the strength she must have mustered just to be able to push it this far. "Yes, it will help fill that 18-wheeler, she beamed. "Can I help you with any of that?" "No, but thanks again. I've managed to get this far. I'm a little worried about getting it all in the bed of my pickup, though." When you get to the cash register, you can ask them to get someone to help you load it. I've seen them do that before. Listen, we are going to get to the checkout clerk at about the same time. I can go out with you and help you load it in if you want. That would be wonderful. It would be a great help. You are such a kind man. You are sweet to say so. It won't be any trouble. I'll be glad to do it. Okay. If I get checked out before you, I'll just wait. We have a plan, I stated as we both laughed. My guess on the timing as to when we would both reach the checkout clerks was pretty accurate. When my purchases were all paid for, and I had received my cards back along with the receipt, I noticed that my elderly companion was having some kind of difficulty with her checkout clerk. Stopping the roll of my fully loaded cart, I saw the clerk shake her head no as the senior citizen kept saying, "It's good. It is. I've paid for things here with it before. It's good." The clerk muttered something and pointed off to the left towards the help desk. Leaning into the cart and straining as she broke its desire to remain at rest, she pushed the thing towards the line of Sam's Club workers behind the customer assistance counter. Clearly irritated, she leaned towards me and stated, "She won't accept my voucher. I've used these vouchers they give me to pay for things before. Anyway, someone over there has to approve the voucher. Look at that line. I'm going to keep you from getting to your car and going on your way, honey." "It's okay," came my reply. Stretching the truth, I continued, "I have a little extra time to spare. I'll wait." "Oh, thank you so much." "Sure," I said, moving my cart off to the side near the exit door. This situation was starting to get frustrating. The lady had been standing in the helpline for about 5 minutes and still had 2 people in front of her before she even got to talk to someone who could authorize her voucher. Tapping the woman on the shoulder to get her attention, I stated, "To save time, I'm going to put this stuff in the trunk of the car, if that's okay. Then I'll come back and wait until you're cleared, and then we'll load your pickup. If you get done before I get back from loading the car, just wait outside this exit door with your cart until I get back, okay?" "Sure. This is such a help." Out the door I went, pushing my cart. As I packed the trunk and part of the back seat with my treasures, I couldn't help feeling good about myself. It would have been much simpler to have asked the checkout clerk to call some Sam's employee to the front to help this grandmother-type soul. But I had an invested sense of pride in finishing my Boy Scout good deed for the day. As I returned to the exit doors, there she was with her packed cart, waiting for me. With her hands folded together as if about to pray, she spoke as I arrived. "This is such a help. Thank you so much. My truck is just over there." She pointed off to the right of the crowded parking lot and started walking in that direction. I began pushing the heavy cart, following in her footsteps. As we approached the pickup truck, I was stunned, shocked, and then amused at what I saw. I had to seriously keep from laughing out loud. The entire surface of the sides and back of her pickup truck was covered in slap-on bumper stickers with hordes of slogans blaring at me in their boldly printed letters. It seemed that all of the things I believed in were being attacked by at least 2 or more of the bumper stickers. The rear window of the truck was almost completely covered with the traditional logo of the 82nd Airborne Division, including the parachute wings. I mean, my work in promoting racial tolerance was attacked. My commitment to valuing those with different sexual orientations was trashed. My strong support of public funds for public schools was stomped on. My sense of religious freedom for all and my dislike of the symbolism the Confederate flag represented, along with several other issues I valued, seemed to be all lumped together in one solid attack of those ideals and of those who held them. I had never seen so much hate expressed in such a small area the back of the pickup truck provided. The grandmotherly woman beamed with pride as she said, "This is it. Please put it all in the back of the truck." I did as she requested, while she raised her level of praise of me by telling me I was one of the good Samaritans the Bible talks about. After it was all loaded, she vigorously shook my hand while declaring that she couldn't wait to get back to the others at the 18-wheeler and tell them about the nice man that had helped her. My smile was in appreciation of her gratitude and of the kindness she displayed to one she could have so easily hated.